どうも皆さんお疲れ様です。ひろき先生です。Welcome back to For All Japanese Learners. Today, we will learn how to say try something in Japanese. The grammatical meaning of this expression is to actually do something to see what the result is. For example, try to eat, try to go, try it on. In Japanese, the expression 手見る is added after the verb. The important expression 手 form from Genki 1 is combined with the word 見る in the helping verb to form 手見る. And please do not be confused because 見る in the helping verb is a different form 見る in the regular verb, which is to see. It is not used in a negative form because it is basically assumed that something is done to confirm the result. But it can also be said in the negative sentences. In that case, the meaning changes and it becomes a suggestion to the other party. I will introduce each example sentence. Of course, it cannot be used in the combination with adjectives. And since it is only an affirmative of the verb, it is a relatively simple grammar. Today's menu will cover the present and past tenses of the verbs, polite and casual expressions for each, as well as an explanation for each type of verbs. So then, let's get started with some example sentences. Number 1. 新しいピザを食べてみる。新しいピザを食べてみる。This is an affirmative sentence in the present tense of the verb る since 食べる is a る verb. When you conjugate it, the final る is removed and てみる is added. This is a casual expression, but if you want to say it politely, add ます form and say 食べてみます. Now, let's try saying this in the negative. 新しいピザを食べてみない?新しいピザを食べてみない? Or 新しいピザを食べてみますか?新しいピザを食べてみますか? The accent changes slightly, but the negative form changes the meaning to suggestion to the other person. Next, let's look at the past tense form in the same sentence. 新しいピザを食べてみた。新しいピザを食べてみた。or 新しいピザを食べてみました。新しいピザを食べてみました。The てみる changes into てみた and becomes the past tense. The meaning is I tried a new pizza. In English, try is enough to convey the meaning, but in Japanese, you need to add a verb to convey the meaning. 新しいトップガンの映画を見てみる。新しいトップガンの映画を見てみる。Kind of funny pronunciation, right? As I mentioned earlier, てみる is a helping verb. So it is different from the normal verb 見る, which is to watch. But when you conjugate it, you remove the る sound and add てみる, so it becomes 見てみる. The polite form is 見てみます. And the past tense is 見てみた. And the polite plus past tense is 見てみました. Number 2. メタルを聴いてみる。メタルを聴いてみる。This is an affirmative sentence in the present tense of the う verb. Since 聞く, listen, is a う verb, when conjugated, the final う sound is changed into い and てみる is added. If you want to say it politely, add mas form as well and say 聞いてみます. If you want to say it in the negative, say メタルを聞いてみない？メタルを聞いてみない？ or メタルを聞いてみませんか？メタルを聞いてみませんか？ in the negative tense. Next is the past tense. メタルを聞いてみた。メタルを聞いてみた。メタルを聞いてみました。メタルを聞いてみました。The only difference is that the word must is changed into ました。Let's look at one more example sentence. 任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみる。任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみる。Well, if you know what I mean, it's a classic software, right? My friend bought it again in that day, so I use it as example sentence. If you want to say it politely, add must form, and it becomes 任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみました。任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみました。The negative sentence is 任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみない？任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみない？ or 任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみませんか？任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみませんか？ The past tense is 任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみた。任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみた。任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみました。任天堂64のゴールデンアイを買ってみました。No.3 ドイツ語を勉強してみる。ドイツ語を勉強してみる。This is also an affirmative sentence in the present tense of an irregular verb. Change する in 勉強する to し and add てみる to the verb. If you want to say it politely, add mass form as well, so it becomes 勉強してみます。Negative verbs are ドイツ語を勉強してみない？ドイツ語を勉強してみない？ or ドイツ語を勉強してみませんか？ドイツ語を勉強してみませんか？ The past tense is no different from other types of verbs. ドイツ語を勉強してみた。ドイツ語を勉強してみた。ドイツ語を勉強してみました。ドイツ語を勉強してみました。No.4 今バーにいるから来てみて。今バーにいるから来てみて。Let's also check it out another irregular verb, 来る which is come. The verb 来る is conjugated to 来て and てみる is added to it to become 来てみる。If you want to say it politely, it becomes 来てみます。The negative sentence is 今バーにいるから来てみない？今バーにいるから来てみない？今バーにいるから来てみませんか？今バーにいるから来てみませんか？ In the past tense 友達が今バーにいるから来てみた。友達が今バーにいるから来てみた。友達が今バーにいるから来てみました。友達が今バーにいるから来てみました。Now here are some paraphrases of today's words. 食べる to eat いただく食事をする This is also a polite way to say it, but it refers to tasting the entire arrays of dishes and drinks. Not one particular dish, and you say 野菜を食べる eat vegetables, but not 野菜を食事する For example, we say ひろき先生が食事をする but not ひろき先生がラーメンを食事する The next one is 食事をとる Also a polite way of saying 食事をする but it is not said before a specific dish, but the implication is that the food is taken into body. It is sometimes used in a business situation as in 食事をとっていただく。見る、鑑賞する。A polite way of saying 見る, to watch. In the case of see or look, the same pronunciation is used but with a different kanji character. 見る。聞く、鑑賞する。You can use the same word. 買う、購入する or 購買する。Both the polite ways of saying 買う, buy as well, but 購買する is used to describe the purchase of goods by a company or other organization rather than the action of an individual buying something. 勉強する、学習する。勉強, study, is a word that refers to the means of acquiring knowledge or skills, and all actions taken to acquire them are called 勉強, studying. The word 学習 means to acquire learning, skills, or knowledge through experience or study. 学習, learning, is a step beyond 勉強, study. Okay, so how was it? The grammar was easy to understand because of the lack of adjectives, wasn't it? If you have already done Genki 1, you will know that te form is really used a lot, and it is a very important expression. So we're going to use it for this one too. Now I give you the usual quizzes. Please answer the verb type for each of the paraphrases. Just showed you. いただく、食事をする、食事をとる、鑑賞する、購入する、購買する、学ぶ、学習する。I will put the answers in the description section and below, and then let me know what everyone else's answers are in the comment section. I'll keep this Genki series going. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see me do better or if you have any requests. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Well, that's all for today's lesson. In the next lesson, we're gonna learn about the grammar of predicate X if noun A. For example, do you understand Japanese? It is used like this. If it is hiragana, yes. Alright, see you in the next lesson. I hope you have a good rest of your day and see you guys soon.
動画を見てくれてありがとう。この動画がいいねと思ったら高評価とチャンネル登録お願いします。あとインスタグラムのフォローもよろしくお願いします。それじゃあまた。